Hey there, my name's Melly and I'm a final year accounting student at Bournemouth University, and today I'm going to be telling you about how I manage a part-time job alongside my studies, as well as how I budget in preparation for university. To start with, I'll just do a quick chat about how I balance my part-time jobs. So I work part-time for a restaurant in which I do a Sunday shift and an evening shift. This was agreed when I first started out there, but I was very lucky to find a job that enabled me to pick an evening shift that would suit in with my studies. And then obviously the Sunday was just because they would like a weekend day. But I think it's very important that when you do look to find a part-time job, in order to balance it, get a job in which they won't ask you to do a lot of overtime. Through my 3 years at uni, apart from my year in placement, I've always had a part-time job. And I've been very lucky that they've always been very flexible in the hours that they give me. So an important thing to look for when you are looking for a part-time job is to find a job that won't overwork you and one that you're able to fit in alongside your studies. Another thing that's important to look for when you are balancing a part-time job is if you're able to get time off to go home for Christmas and Easter. I'm very lucky that in all the jobs I've had that they've been able to let me go home for a couple of weeks over Christmas, but it means I'm able to go home and not worry about, will I need to be working everything. And I think lastly is if you feel like you are putting in too much effort into your work and not enough time for your studies, to let your employer know, so then they can hopefully help you with it and to help you balance your studies as well, because obviously you're here to do university and not work part-time. And in terms of budgeting for university, I personally have a spreadsheet which I'm going to be sharing with you today. Obviously, it depends on how much you get in your loan, if you need to work or anything. Obviously, I need to work in order to support myself at university, which is why I have a budget. So I'll put a copy of my budget up on the screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's just a Excel spreadsheet in which I've also put like the equals, sums and stuff like that, so it works out automatically. It's always important to live within your means and don't overspend in Freshers Week, which can happen to a lot of people. So to start with, I have all my income at the top. So I have carried over, which is what I have left over from the month before. My loan, any wages that I'll get in that month. Any other income such as from my parents, and then refunds. And then obviously a sum button, so total income. And then the next bit is outgoings. So I have household bills, so that's water, gas, electrics and Wi-Fi. If you're in a house, it won't normally come to more than £50, but that's how much I put aside just in case. I also don't have my rent on here because I've got that in a separate account from when I worked on placement. But obviously if you want to put your rent in, this is where you'd put it. Then I've got my phone bill, that stays the same every month. Then I've got savings, which again is a personal choice. Then I've got transport. For me, that's just petrol. Depends if you use buses, trains, whatever. Then shopping, so in this one I put food, drinks and toiletries. So basically the necessities of the shopping. Then next is socialising. For that I've got takeouts, meals out, going for coffees, takeout coffees, going on a night out, like tickets and all of that, so I know that I'm not overspending. Then I've got gym, so that's a gym subscription, any money for BU Sport, kit and any protein stuff I want. Then next I have clothing, so if I want to buy any clothing I'll put it in that section, so again I know that I'm not being ridiculous with my spending, which has happened. The next is presents and gifts, so I just put in a budget depending on if I've got someone's birthdays, and obviously in the lead up to Christmas I've put more aside for Christmas presents. And then lastly, my last section is miscellaneous. For this it's bits and bobs, homeware, medication, just anything that might just crop up out of the blue. And then I've got total outgoings, and then obviously underneath I've got the balance, which is ingoings minus outgoings. So it's basically how much I have to play with. I don't stick to it too strictly because obviously you're at uni, you're here to have fun, all of that, but it just helps me not overspend, and so I'm not really ringing up my parents saying I've run out of money, can I have money for a takeout please. It's basically just so I know how much I need to work and how much I need to survive. So obviously I just play about with it each month. I hope you found this video helpful and look forward to seeing you soon.